I ended up getting a really big box of these. Now I'm addicted to them.
So how about this? Local life experience, drunken boxing, and an eye for detail. Now how many points do we put in? We have 8 traits, so...
8 points, you start with 2. Weakness is always at 1.
Okay. Let's see, and the max we can give is 5 for each.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put 2 for local life experience, 3 for boxing, and 3 for detail.
Did you remember the minimum 2?
Oh, minimum 2?
Yeah, you start with 2 free at each point in each trait.
Oh, okay.
Anything you could conceivably roll. For example, if you needed to, say, cast a spell, despite being a 20th century detective, you would start at a trait of 2.
Okay, so...
Characters in Wushu are absurdly powerful.
Alright, so I go for... Oh, do I have to fill this with traits?
No.
Okay, so I'll just take these 3 and add 8 to them. Alright. I'm thinking we're going with a one-syllable name like Bob or Ted.
Detective.
Detective. Yes, and I'm also dyslexic.
That would be an interesting weakness.
You said you were going to be a Cthulhu detective?
Nah.
Oh. Because in that case it would probably be something like crippling paranoia.
Yeah, still time. Is this acceptable?
Yes.
Alright. Can I see it?
I'm going to read it out.
Why don't you read it out?
Alright. I am Roger Muldoon. I have a trait of 5 of good old-fashioned fisticuffs. I have 5 at inevitable dramatic car chases, and a 4 in things man was not meant to know.
Alright.
My weakness is scotch. So much fucking scotch.
Alright, my name is Ted. I have 4 local life experience. I have 5 in drunken boxing, and I have a 5 for an eye for detail. My crippling weakness is my lack of basic human empathy.
And together they fight crime.
And we begin. It's a boring twilight evening, and all through the complex, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The coffee is brewing with caffeine plus brew, while 2 ace detectives snooze along to snazzy blues tunes. When all of a sudden a sound from outside, the windowless hole where a window should reside. Achoo! 2 ace detectives wake up in a clamber and ask one little question. Why is everything in black and white?
I suspect the king in yellow. Because I always suspect the king in yellow.
Well, is that something like the yellow bastard?
No, it's Haster, he's one of the elder gods.
Oh, right. Sorry, what's your name again?
Roger Muldoon.
Okay.
Roger Muldoon lifts his head off the desk, knocks his bottle of scotch over, looks around and goes, "Oh God, I'm in Carcosa again."
Roger, calm down.
I am calm.
For some reason, your snazzy blues tunes is feeling a little more gray than blue.
Alright, that's it. I'm getting to the bottom of this bullshit. I'm going to my captain's office.
Right? You open the door from where you're snoozing, you close it, then you remember, wait a minute, you go back in, you're already in your captain's office.
Okay, is he here?
No.
Alright. Well, let's go investigating. And head outside, see what else is here, see who else is here.
Come on, Roger. I'll check over.
Notice that Ted is here, swear under my breath. Carry on.
Alright, Roger, you're driving.
I can only drive well if I'm chasing someone. Otherwise I crash into everything.
As you head outside, you go down the small bit of steps. Actually, how do you go down these steps?
Walking.
We saunter down, dancing to the jaunty tune.
The jaunty grazed booze.
Yes.
I stride down the stairs with great confidence, cigarette in one hand, scotch in the other, gun on my hip, and head down for my squad car.
As you head to your squad car, you see there is actually a man inside in the back seat. He looks rather dehydrated and considerably shaken up.
Do I remember him?
Yes, you were actually supposed to turn him in like 3 days ago.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Just letting work pile up. Right over there, bang on the window.
Can you just put me in jail now?
I thought I did that like 3 days ago. The duty sergeant was supposed to come over and handle that. Man, this place, someday I'd like to work in a real police department.
Why is everything in black and white?
Good question. I open the door and pull him out. So what are you in for, anyway?
I don't remember. It's been too long.
It was like 3 days ago, during which I've had time to think of nothing else.
It's only been 3 days.
How long do you think it's been?
It's felt like forever.
Yeah, well,
I'll
hot
check
car
my case notes to see what he is in for.
He is in for petty theft at a speakeasy.
Oh, lovely.
Good old speakeasies. It's very telling of our characters that we arrested the guy stealing from the speakeasy, not shut down the speakeasy.
Of course not. That's my favorite drinking place.
Then where will I drink? Alright. Oh.
You see a car driving by, and you notice it more specifically because it's red.
Alright, we're in Sin City.
I shove the guy back into the back into the car, shut it, then get in and follow.
I
Come
call
on,
shotgun.
Bob, you're coming with me.
My name is Ted.
I was talking to the guy in the car.
Oh, right.
Who's now named Bob.
Apparently. Alright, let's follow that there car.
Alright, how do you want to follow the car?
I don't know, is it running away from me or is it just driving?
Well, it is just driving for now.
No, I'll just follow it.
Alright. Well, 15 minutes pass.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that a lot of people are either freaking out or pouring unnamed contents out of bottles.
Whereas I'm pouring unnamed contents into my mouth. I'm the best detective. I'm literally drinking and driving. In the 20s. The middle of Prohibition.
We're cops, Roger. We make the rules.
The car suddenly starts to bring up speed and
Alright.
takes a swift turn to the left.
I will follow.
It's going even faster and faster. People are getting knocked out of the way, flipping into the air. One of them lands on your windshield.
Alright. I will turn on the windshield wipers and smack him in the face several times. When this doesn't work, I'll just reach my arm out the window, just drag him off, throw him aside. I'll hammer the gas pedal, start squealing in, just cut a sharp turn around the corner.
I'll give that 3 dice.
Wait, I'd have to put down my scotch to turn the wheel. I turn the wheel with one hand. Alright, that is 4 successes.
Alright, you get it right close to the side, and you look over, and you see there is a dog in the driver's seat, wearing a reporter's hat.
Goddamn news hounds. Alright. What do you want to do with this?
I pull out does the car have a loudspeaker?
It does if you say it does.
Alright. I pull out the car's loudspeaker and say, pull over. This is the police.
This is the police. Pull over or you will be fired upon. Your remains will be fired upon again.
I'm holding it up to his mouth as he's saying that.
The dog looks over, rolls down the window with his paw, brings his head out, tongue waving out, and goes, woof! At that moment, it drives up a ramp right over a construction area and flies right into your favorite speakeasy.
No!
The dog's gone too far. Time to put him in the pound.
This means war. Alright, I will pull my car around, bootleg turn, just pull it completely around, get up a good length of speed for that ramp, barrel down it, kick up on it. I don't have as much speed as the dog did though, so I don't clear the construction site. Rather, the car flies up, lands on a pair of I-beams that are currently being used in construction, balances the tires perfectly along as it goes, comes off, then lands sideways on a fence, slides along it like a skateboard, and lands on the other side and continues chasing.
Yeah, 5 dice.
Alright, 4 successes.
Alright. You get out of your car, you look around, you see the dog.
I get out of my car, all 4 wheels of it fall off.
Yeah. Bob is in the bicycle shaking out.
Good old Bob, he's a rock.
I grab my case notes and a flashlight and walk up behind Roger.
You see, oddly enough, the tavern folk of the speakeasy seem oddly unimpressed about the colorblind issue that everyone seems to be experiencing. Perhaps
Well, you know what speakeasies are like, they're all blind anyway. Methanol. That's true, I did. That dog around here, hunched over the seat, collapsed.
the dog is actually sitting at the front bar where it is currently talking with the bartender.
Right?
I try to see if I recognize the dog.
Yes, this is Frou-Frou.
Who?
This is Frou-Frou.
Frou-Frou?
Yes, it is the Ace News reporter's dog named. What was the Ace reporter's name? Hold on. Trixie.
Trixie.
Yes.
Is the reporter a woman?
Yes.
Alright.
This is Wushu, notes really aren't necessary.
Well, why not get the names all right?
I pick up the dog and cuff it.
Alright. Dog goes, oh?
Under arrest for property damage.
Woof.
Oh, then order a scotch.
The bartender goes, now easy now. This dog's a customer.
Yeah, well, so am I. Where's that scotch? And I wouldn't be here if I wasn't making an arrest, and you know damn well I'm paying better than he is.
The bartender pours you a scotch. The tavern folk look at you with a grumpy, drunken stare. Dog's our favorite. You shouldn't be messing with Frou-Frou.
And
This is police business. Go back to your drinks.
This is police business. Go back to your illegal drinks. Now excuse me while I enjoy my illegal drink.
Enjoy your perfectly legitimate non-alcoholic drinks in this legitimate businessman's club.
Exactly. This is Scotch brand soda pop. That's not fizzy at all.
A big, muscly man wearing no shirt but has overalls on walks over, sees you drinking your scotch, like, why are you drinking that sissy drink, boy?
Oh, now it's on.
I believe this calls for a drinking contest.
Sure, go for it. Try to drink him at the table. Think Scotch is a sissy drink, go shot for shot.
Alright then.
I cringe at the thought of drinking Scotch in shots.
The speakeasy tender goes, hold on now. We've got special rules for drinking contests. He kicks the bottom of the bar, underneath the bar, and opens up underneath. An arena floats up and into place. And right in the middle of the arena is a small table with 2 stools, as well as 2 shot glasses.
Go off. Go for it, buddy.
Roger, hold on to the suspect. I won't be long.
Sure. I pat the dog.
Alright, I go up and sit down on one of the stools.
Alright. The big man with a twirly mustache and overalls with no shirt goes right in, sits right down, leans down, go, you know you're not gonna win this, boy.
You've never been to Singapore.
Well, you got me there.
Just
Bartender,
have been as Taipei.
bartender of the speakeasy climbs over into the arena, who is now wearing a referee uniform, brings down the 2 bottles of scotch, pours a drink, and goes. Now, I would say that this would be a clean fight, but we both know it's not going to be. Enjoy your drinks. Last man standing wins.
Alright, I slowly bring the shot up to my lips and swirl it around nice and tender, feel the rough sandpaper destroy my throat, then swallow.
The man takes the bottle and starts drinking it and begins to punch you in the face. And while he's punching you in the face, he flips the table over with his foot, breaks it in half, and starts hitting you with the leg of the table.
Alright, then I try to get off the. We're on a podium, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're on a podium. I try to jump off the podium and grab a bar stool to defend myself.
Right, I believe that's 3 dice worth.
Alright.
Now, do you want to, the yin yang thing?
Yeah, oh yes. When you do nemesis fights, these sort of one-on-one things,
Yeah.
you take the dice you get assigned, which will be usually anywhere from like 3 to 8, and you assign yin dice, which are white, and yang dice, which are red.
Okay.
When you roll them all, you decide how many of them you want to be yin, how many you want to be yang.
Okay.
Yin are used for defending yourself, yang are used for attacking your opponent.
Okay.
So you roll them all like that. Once they get under your traits, they're successes. So if I was rolling a 5-point skill, these would both be successes. The yin dice just directly eat yang dice from your opponent.
Okay.
Any remaining ones carry over and hit them.
Alright.
Your health in this game is referred to as your chi.
Okay.
It's over there. You have 3 points in it.
Okay.
If you lose the last one, you basically get knocked unconscious. Wushu characters pretty much never die.
Alright.
They come back at some dramatic moment usually, or at the end of a fight if someone else has to step in for you. And then the enemy will also have some amount of successes you're trying to reach to beat him.
Alright.
Usually they work the way they work is you'll sort of go back and forth, each adding details building off of one another,
Yeah.
until eventually you get to like 8 dice and you'll roll those.
Alright. I've just realized.
And remember, anything you declare happens.
I've just realized something. I'm Samuel Max. Alright, so we're fighting?
Yes.
Alright. So do I attack first?
You
You declare whatever you're doing, he'll declare something that he does in response, you declare a response, etc., until our GM buddy tells you that you've basically attained 8 dice worth of details in the scene, and then you'll both roll your dice.
Alright. I weave and dodge my way through the other patrons until I'm right up on his back and wail on him with the bar stool until it breaks, at which point I will then run away back and hide in the crowd.
You run up his back with a bar stool, you're like, smash! It does absolutely nothing, you're like, oh shit.
that would be about 4 dice.
Okay. So
He weaves and tries to hit you, but you roll.
okay.
You don't need to roll until you've actually like amassed a pool of them. Basically, normally the way it's supposed to work is it sort of goes back and forth, describing a scene for a little while. You roll whenever you decide that you've sort of hit a point where more detail is just needless.
Okay.
You weave.
So that's 3 successes and 1 failure?
It's just not a success.
Oh,
Failures don't mean anything other than lack of success.
okay. So 3 successes?
And remember, when you're doing this, you're supposed to split them into red and white dice.
Oh, right, sorry. I didn't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm also figuring out this whole gene thing isn't going on. None of this would be helpful without your tidbits of proper way to play.
Ah, yeah. Because Wushu is so stringent about you following its rules.
So, do I re-roll them, or?
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. So he weaves around trying to punch you, but you keep splitting out of the way as the patrons start to dive into the arena to get at the scotch and get into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
As you start to go to blend into the crowd, things just start going into an all-right brawl.
So I'm sitting there with my drink. One of the patrons comes over, crashes at my feet. I just sort of lift my feet out of the way as he goes under me. And the next one crashes at the table and knocks over my bottle. And I'm just like, alright. Just flip the table in the air, pick up my chair, and just start going to town on all the moves in the air.
Do you still have the dog headlocked in one arm?
Yes. I start hitting them with the dog.
Oh, for sure. You'll pay for that, boy.
One success.
3 sixes. Impressive.
Basically, the way the dice work in Wushu is it's not determining whether or not your character succeeds at what he's doing. He just does.
Yeah.
They're more like just a duration mechanic for
Okay.
determining how long a given scene should last.
Okay.
Right. So, a few fires get started. Men are beating on men. Women are beating on women.
But never man on woman, because this is the 20s. And that's just not done.
Well, a few women slap men,
Yes.
and children and women can fight each other.
You notice that there is a small rabbit in the center of the room.
Is it a white rabbit?
Yes.
Ah, shoot it. Sorry, it's just a tradition from all those Eclipse-based games. No white rabbits ever get to serve in the plot. They're always ignored or shot.
I only added it there because of Sam Max comment. You shoot it and it bursts into a pile of blood and guts.
Well, that's good. At least that gun still works. Haven't used it in about 6 years.
You see 4 men starting to approach you, broken bottles, tables, and one of them carrying a baseball bat.
Alright, I take the guy with the table, I throw him at the guy with the baseball bat, and I try to duck and weave between the 2 people with the broken bottles so they stab each other, and then I do this to the both of them.
2 other guys coming up behind you, you just go bang, just knock them out of the way.
Yeah, I knock them across the head, and then I turn around and knock their heads together.
There you go.
Nice.
Alright, that's 4 successes.
So the speakeasy bartender is going, let's kick this up a notch. He kicks it down the table again, and spikes start to descend from the scene. Fire starts to belch from what you originally thought were just kegs of beer, and microbreweries start to pelt like a machine gun. Very deadly microbrews.
Roger, I think this is a moment where discretion is the better part of valor.
I think this is the moment where my favorite bar is on fire. I quickly vault the bar, grab every bottle I can possibly find, and bolt for the door with them.
Alright, I
With
take up
explosions going off behind me all the way.
my gun and stand guard by the door, making covering fire as he makes his way to rescue the booze, and hopefully it still has the dog around his arm.
And it's a dog, it can find its way into the fire.
So as you ran out, the speakeasy bartender goes, "Hey, you're supposed to pay for those.
Put it on my tab.
Your tab is overdue."
It always is. Tell me something I don't know. I paid it last year.
You mean 3 years?
Yes. Anyway, book it.
You gonna book it?
Yeah.
Alright. As you...
If my that many bottles of booze. I can't carry the dogs. The dog's handcuffed arms are actually just around my neck, choking me. Just like, ah! So I run out.
As you sneak around the corner, you see some fire trucks run by the siren. The firemen seem rather... what's the word I'm looking for?
Nude.
No. Sure. Okay, they're nude firemen. And they are...
Hello, Dennis Leary.
They're not actually firemen. They were dancing at the strip club down the road.
They just happen to
They're in costume. They just happened to come by.
Yeah.
They are quite up and ready to get the fire out. They don't want their favorite speakeasy burning down.
Exactly. It's the best speakeasy in town.
Unfortunately, they didn't bring any equipment, so they're just, pissing on it for now.
So, you're running around, you got a dog around your neck, 2 kegs of scotch. And what are you doing?
I love the bartender buys scotch by the keg. Well,
I'm putting out a fire.
Then again, I am
and
one of
then
his
I-
customers.
And I suggest it's time for us to get back to the squad car and bring him to the interrogation room.
We run back over to the squad car, look at it, all the wheels have fallen off. Oh, right. We run over to the dog's car and just take it.
Alright, you start driving off in a red car.
Wait, what happened to Bob?
He's fine.
He's still in the car.
He'll take the fall for the burning bar.
If he doesn't burn down himself.
I'm parked away from the bar. Maybe. I'm sure he would buy.
No, wait. Did we steal the tires from the car and use it on our squad car?
We could do that, but this car is all shiny and red.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, as you're drunkenly driving, breaking several street laws, while doing so,
Thursday.
a small gremlin starts to descend from the sky and lands on the top of your car.
Ah, damn.
We have to rear-end it.
Every time with the gremlins.
Now, as it made contact, you notice that your car is slowly turning desaturated.
Well, alright. Just gonna let hand on the steering wheel, put the bottle in my mouth, tip it up, hold it in place, the other hand pull my pistol and level it through the windshield at the gremlin. Fire, the kickback of the gun hits me in the face.
I'm giving you 5
Knocks the bottle on the floor. I'm like, damn it! 4.
The gremlin gets knocked back by the bullet, but much to your surprise, it appears to be bulletproof. In fact, you didn't notice it till now, but the bullet appears to be starting to become desaturated as well. Apparently, it has some color.
Well, I'm far too drunk to concern myself with that.
I climb up through the windshield to fight the gremlin hand to hand on top of the moving car.
The manly way to do it.
I grab onto the seat belt with one hand to keep me somewhat stable so I'm not flying off, and
You go through the hole I made in the windshield, just punch up the rest of the glass, wrap a seatbelt around your fist. The other end, you've got like a length of chain from the bar, just like swinging around.
yes, I have a length of chain, and I'm trying to wrap it around one of the gremlin's arms so I can toss it off the car.
Meanwhile, I will try to rack my Scotch-addled brain for everything I can possibly remember about gremlins from all those years I spent as an early recruit, trying to look through all the old books at the academy and the library that I shouldn't have been looking through. And that last time I got stuck in Carcosa. I don't even remember how I got it that time.
Alright, you get 4 dice for that, and you also get 4 dice for the
Alright. 4 successes.
3. 1 attack, 2 defense.
Oh, right.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, every time you roll in combat, you split your dice pool.
Oh,
If you're fighting a group of mooks, they don't really roll against you. They're just assumed to get 1 hit every round.
Okay, I'll just assume 2 and 2.
Okay.
What you do know of gremlins is that they usually do not eat color, but you also know that when there's one of them, there's usually more.
Yes.
And just as that thought occurs to you, you can see that the sky starts to go dark as a cloud of gremlins start to soar by.
The raid of gremlins.
You currently have roughly around a shit ton of gremlins currently going after you.
I will start weaving the car back and forth, trying to dodge the gremlins and or run over as many of them as I possibly can, bouncing off the windshield, skipping over, whizzing past your head, occasionally buffeting you in the face as you reel side to side of the car.
I grab the gremlin I have with the chain and try to pull it off pull it off the what is that thing? The hood. Off the hood of the car.
The fronty bit thing on car.
Yeah.
You decapitated the gremlin, and it is currently lodged in the chain.
Oh, lovely.
I'll just swing that at people.
And I'll swing it at people.
Swing it around and somehow set it free so it flings the head at one of the other ones, knocks it out of the sky.
For some odd reason, you start to swing it at some random people that are passing by, completely innocent. Perhaps you should try swinging them at big ones.
That's what he was doing. Anyway, as numerous gremlins are descending, they're starting to blanket the car and just start sliding and just sideswiping buildings and lampposts, just knocking them off every time.
The lampposts easily fall apart as you hit them.
GTA lampposts, good. At one point, there's several of them clogging up on the hood and radiator. They're just covering my good co-worker, Ted. At this point, I just go, "Hey Ted, hold on!" and slam on the brakes, so him with his seatbelt just goes, but all the other gremlins just fly off the hood and slam into a wall as the car screeches to a halt.
Warn me next time you're going to do that, Roger.
I did. I said, "Hey Ted, hold on."
Alright, are these combat dice?
Killing dice.
Yep. 3 to attack, and I'm 5 for defense.
Oh, what? Oh, moot killing dice? What?
Combat dice, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Alright, so 2 attack successes, 1 defense success.
Totally using those the wrong color, but whatever. As long as you declare which is which.
As you see the gremlins, they launch off into the wall, and they just stay there, attached to the wall. Apparently, you see nearby there is a paint roller and a bucket of glue. Apparently someone was just about to put up a bulletin.
Oh, that's good. I accelerate the car again and just crouch them against the wall, just for good measure. Then back up and go back to what I was doing.
You actually go through it, and you notice that you're actually off the ground.
Not again.
Alright, well, I guess am I safely off the car now, or?
Oh, you're completely safe. You have your seatbelt on.
It's on your arm. It's
Right.
perfectly safe.
So I didn't jump off the car while I was doing this.
Could have.
Could
Just
have.
had to let go of the seatbelt.
Yeah, I do that.
Alright.
I duck out of the way as I roll off the hood of the car and try to get behind it as he's driving into the wall.
I take the smoke out of I just set my cigarette in my mouth, pull the trunk latch button, climb through the back of the car. Just as it's teetering off the cliff, I climb through the back seat, out through the trunk, and step off onto the surface just as the car plummets off the cliff. I just take my smoke and go, fucking Thursdays, man.
What happened to our perp?
He's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
Off in the distance.
Dogs instinctively flee falling cars. Everyone knows that.
Off in the distance, you see a glimmer of red. And it
That's
is not your car.
The sun's exploding again. Alright, let's head over that way. Colored things mean less gremlins. As we're going along, I just kick random gremlins out of the way. Smack them. Moving you.
I grab a lid from a garbage can and smash one away.
You grab 2 lids, just trap one.
I do the whole symbol thing. It's
As you get closer, you notice that this red is actually a dress. And who's currently wearing this dress is a hot damsel.
Well, that's always important. Let's drop everything we're doing. Go talk to her.
She
It's a
looks
dangerous
around.
night to be out, ma'am.
Are you two detectives?
Allegedly.
I'm
Officially, yes.
I'm Detective Ted. This is Detective Roger.
I have a last name, unlike some of you freaks. Detective Muldoon.
Well, I need to hire one detective for a bit of a problem. You see, my dog is missing.
What's your name?
Trixie.
Your dog's in that car wreckage right over
You
there.
ruined a chance to make an easy buck right there. Alright, well, we can investigate, but it'll be expensive.
Yeah, I veto myself and let it, and
No, go ahead.
Alright. Yeah, so it'll be a very expensive and long-consuming thing. How much money have you got?
I'll need $40 a day plus expenses. It's the 20s, so that's a lot.
No, I'll need $1,200 up front.
It's the 20s, so that's an insane amount of money.
Okay, well, $100.
I'm gonna need a 20s appropriate but high amount of money a day plus expenses.
She's standing there staring at you two as you start spouting up random numbers. It's like this much a day, that much a day. And he's going, I'll give you $10 a day, and if you solve this case within the hour, I will throw in another 100.
All right, your dog's in that wreckage over there.
What? Frou-frou!
Take that money now. Case closed.
That's why I wanted a ridiculous amount of money up front. Don't worry about this stuff. We're not going to be working like on days or anything. We're just
Well,
going
you don't have to do it, Ro. You just say, I'm gonna go investigate. And then you just don't report back for like 2 days.
to. All right.
She goes over to the wreckage, tries to find the dog. I thought you said that the dog was in here. I don't see Frou-frou anywhere.
I probably climbed out. Let's see.
Frou-frou!
Yeah, head down there, see if I can follow the dog's trail. Well, case closed. Everything wrapped up nicely. Let's go home.
No, wait. I see some paw prints. Let's follow them.
Yeah, knock yourself out. Sure, let's do that. Why not?
You're a terrible detective.
Yes, I am. Well spotted.
Oh, unless we find that dog, you're not getting paid.
Oh no, I'll have to rely on my salary and benefits. The horror.
What salary and benefits? You couldn't even afford a veto. And you couldn't even pay for your drinks.
I don't need to pay for my drinks.
I am the law.
Yeah, exactly.
And being the law means I can break all the laws.
Exactly.
So who's gonna stop me? The law?
Who's gonna stop me? Ted?
I mean, who's going to stop me? Roger?
Exactly. We're the only 2 detectives in the city, apparently. We don't even have a captain, as far as I can tell. He disappeared months ago. We never filed for replacements. Department's a bit stagnated. Anyway, let's follow.
As you wander over, trying to look for the dog and a potential paycheck, you see no sign of a dog. But things are slowly getting hotter and hotter the more you look. It's almost sweltering heat.
Probably going near that volcano again. The town volcano. Bit of a tourist attraction.
I look for my memory of the layout of the city and wonder if there is a volcano nearby.
There is.
All right. Any specifics on it?
Yeah, you look to the left and you see that you're actually on the rim of a volcano. Now, where did you get here?
You just glance to the left, it's just 300-foot drop to a caldera of lava. Oh yeah. Right, that. Man, I'm not great at this detectiving shit.
Yeah, I have a real eye for detail. I'm just not good at the big picture stuff.
I say, we appear to have transitioned to an igneous rock type. Really? I think I might have spotted a reason for that.
Now, I'm going to roll this dice to see what happens.
Okay, scab roll.
Yeah, pick odd or even.
There's always the scab roll. Failure so bad as to defy comprehension.
When you're dragged in stupor, you fall over, and you start falling into the volcano.
Ah, damn it. Every time.
And following after you, you see a red dress, but inside, instead of a woman, is what appears to be a flaming spectral.
Damn flaming specters. Alright, I'm gonna quickly undo my tie. Snap around as I'm plummeting, wait for the specter to come close, pivot around, catch it, hook the tie around its mouth, and then ride it.
I'm grabbing onto his leg while I'm pulling out the case notes on red spectrals.
I try and rack my brain about what I know about these things.
3 dice.
Sure. One success attack, one success defense.
Right. As you're trying to rack your brain over what the spectral is, she tries to kick free from what you're holding on and tries to fly off into the other side of the volcano, where you can see a small cavern. While she's doing this, she is belching hot hellfire in your direction.
I'm very,
Okay.
I said very thankful that I purchased that fancy imported silk and Kevlar tie that I special ordered, so that it doesn't just burn in its mouth. I think I knew this would come in handy. Just wrap the ends of the straps around my hands to set up a grip, plant my foot on its back, and start trying to steer it up and away from the cavern.
I
Try
let
and
go.
get its big billowy wings to catch the thermal. Get us up out of here.
I let go of his leg as it starts erupting fire and try to roll into the cavern.
Alright, 3 successes and 1 defense.
So do I roll the defenses?
Roll 4 dice.
Okay.
Don't forget your defense dice as well.
Defense and attack, yeah.
Okay. Well, they're all defense. I don't want to get into this fight.
Alright.
I'm
Just
trying to
let
run
go.
away. Okay. So yeah, 4 defenses.
Alright.
Yeah, the other thing for Wushu is that everyone rolls their dice at once.
Okay.
usually.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, as your buddy absolutely bails on you, and it gets a little bit easier for her to fly towards the cavern, you've got right below you is 30-foot depths right to the surface of lava, and you are currently riding on a ghost that's on fire.
Well, I'm doing the same thing I was doing before, trying to steer it up, basically. I mean, I don't see how the situation's changed. What's it doing in response to me redirecting its flight?
Right. Ah, yes. As you're trying to steer it, you can slowly feel like as if your arms are getting weaker and weaker. So you can see small insignia of an unknown origin or would-be unknown.
I cast my mind back and I think, that's not of unknown origin at all. I know what that is. Then I immediately go, well, shit. Because it's the sigil of Chatura, god of fire. Like, well, damn it. Casting my mind back, I remember that this sigil, it's his mark, but it's possible to corrupt it if you know how. So I switch my tie to holding onto it with one hand. I take the cigarette out of my mouth and I burn it against my hand to change the sigil. To make it one of protection against the flames.
But then it occurs to you that maybe using fire to affect a sigil about fire.
What's the only way you can affect it? He will not accept anything less. What are you going to use, a pen? Kind of a cultist ritualist are you using a pen? It's either blood or fire. No 2 ways about it. I'm going with both. Burned blood.
Alright, you can slowly feel your arms slowly regaining its strength. though you can still feel a strange burning sensation as the soles of your shoes disintegrate in the fire.
Yeah, I'll do that. Once I've gotten the ghost bird up to a decent elevation where I can
No, it's still a lady. It's on fire and it's a ghost.
Yeah, I don't care. It's flying around, that's what I'm doing.
Alright.
I'm getting it up to an elevation where it's above the ground there rather than, just in a big pit. So I get it flying around to a sufficient degree. I will pull it up toward so it's flying toward the edge. And I will just kick one of its wings as hard as I can to cripple it so it just bails over sideways. I let go and dive for the side of the rim of the volcano. Land, roll up on the good old dirt as it's now got a crippled wing and is sort of spiraling down toward the pit.
5 dice.
Okay. What's it doing?
Well, it screams as its wing gets kicked. It starts spiraling down and falls into the lava. It begins to rumble as it possesses the volcano.
Good old volcano gods. Always so spiteful. What are you up to?
I guess I'm going through the cave, figuring out if there's a way back to the surface.
Alright. You enter the cavern and you look around and you see one door. And behind it you can see some tunes and some angry words.
Alright, I try to decipher the words. Using my vast knowledge of weird languages that I picked up from a crazy naked guy with green eyes and a fake beard named Waldo who showed up last week.
Damn you, Waldo.
4 dice.
Alright. I'll just say 2 successes. Or, yeah, 3 successes?
That's 3 successes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thinking back, and it's not a language that you've ever heard before, but you can tell that it's some sort of English dialect.
It's not Welsh, is it? So he's got no hope of covering. Everyone has a 1-point skill in understanding Welsh.
It's Welsh.
I determine how many vowels it has. I determine if it's Welsh by how many vowels it uses.
If it's -2, it's Welsh. Why do we keep kicking the Welsh?
Because they hate vowels for some reason.
They just don't write them down. They don't hate them.
Though, you can tell that it is probably something like insulting someone's mother, perhaps?
Something that sounds like yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, I really don't want to do that to my mother.
As the volcano god starts to awaken, the entire volcano starts to lift up on enormous stone legs and arms. And eyes open at the side of the mountain. It's going to be glowing head full of lava. So it climbs up and we're just way above me, and I'm like, cigar. I think back to that time the Indians took over my brain and I was cast into the future, and I played a game called Shadow of the Colossus. And I look around, I run over back to her. I pull out the trusty sword I've been carrying this entire time. No, better yet, the sigil I carved on my hand starts glowing with the blazing light, and it just turns into a big sword of fire in my hand. I just look at him and go, right, let's do this, bitch.
There is a dog, unusually twice its size, sitting right next to you. And there's also a saddle on it.
Yes. I ride the dog. I call him Agro, despite that not being his name. You see what I mean about this game? You can't take it seriously. It's not a game for that.
You know, I'm going to be listening to this again, and I was like, what the hell did I just listen to? I played through it, and I have no idea what I mean, I made most of it up myself, and I have no idea what's going on.
Well, A small recap, you woke up, someone sneezed, and all of a sudden, most of the color in the world has completely disappeared. You came out to investigate that. You went to a speakeasy, got into a drunken brawl. You headed out, got attacked by gremlins.
You forgot we were chasing a dog in a car.
Right.
That's not important.
And you back to the present, where the current volcano is currently trying to stomp on you.
You find this traditions, I deliberately wait while it reels up its giant leg for the stomp. Once its leg its foot gets up high enough to include its view of me, then I whip the dog to ride out of the way. so that it doesn't just track where I'm going, right? And as its foot comes down, the dog just come out of it just in time as it slams into the ground and shakes the earth. These waves of rock come out. The horse just sort of rides along the way. Not horse, but dog. Rides along the wake of it and runs along.
The giant volcano god, possessed by a ghost, turns around and begins to take chase.
I shout as loud as I can, "Hey Ted, you want to maybe try and find out what's going on up there?"
I'm assuming I am inside the great volcano god?
You are.
Yes. Alright, I try and look for,
Well, there's that current door in front of you.
I open the door.
Alright, you open the door, and you find yourself in the bathroom of the speakeasy.
Alright, I look for a control panel.
Damn Thursdays.
Alright, you look around for a control panel, and you can't seem to find one.
Mm-hmm.
Though you do find some strange substance in the toilet thing.
The less you investigate strange substances in the toilet, the better in my experience.
I flush it.
Right, you flush it. The volcano seems to get a little disoriented.
Alright. As I'm running away from the volcano god chasing me, stomping along, I actually take the sword I have and just arc it into the ground and start dragging it along the ground as I'm running away, as it kicks up sparks and trails fire. And then, as we play run around and chase, it follows stomping, kicking over trees, picks up a tree, swings it at me, tries to hit me, keep rolling, ducking and dashing out of the way. And finally the camera sort of pans back and you see that me dragging my sword has been tracing this big sigil all around the giant volcano god. And I just sort of ride right into the middle of it, hop off the dog, it runs away, take the sword, just plant it right in the middle with both hands, and shout something in a language no one understands.
Even you?
Yes. I read it in a book, I don't know what it means.
Alright, 8 dice. And while this is going on, the volcano god is stomping around, trying to catch you with its giant feet. It opens up its mouth, wide open maw, and starts to belch out gremlins of fire. Though the fire quickly goes from the hot red to a desaturated
As the
gray
gremlins
fire.
are pouring out of it, my sword is occupied holding it down. I'm just like punching them out of the air, grabbing them, throwing them at them, swearing loudly.
So, as you strike the sword down into and speak your words, the dog Frou-Frou, or as you like to call it, Aggro, gets kicked. And, and begins to fly into the air.
Damn you!
Oh.
4 successes, 3 defense. 4 attack, 3 defense.
Well, I've got 4 attack and 3 defense.
Alright. So we each do 1 to each other.
Yep.
I look for some way to hack the volcano.
Well,
You look at all of the bottles lined up on the wall and recalling your knowledge of Fallout 3, start trying to touch them in a specific order.
well, as you're trying to mess around with bottles that doesn't seem to be really doing anything, the door opens up and you see a drunken man wandering in, trying to find a toilet to piss in. And you look in and you can see that the speakeasy tavern owner looks at you, squints its eyes, and go, "You."
Am I in the future or something? Or is this 1955?
Try ordering a Pepsi free.
Hi, can I get a Pepsi free?
What the fuck is a Pepsi?
No.
Okay, well, still in the 1920s. Good. All right, so I guess I'll. Let's see. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Well, you have two doors. You're currently in the bathroom. One of them goes out to the cavern into the volcano, and the other one goes into the main.
Oh wait, I know what to do. I grab the bartender by the clutches and say, "Why do you have a portal to an angry volcano god in your bathroom?"
Smuggling.
Where else am I gonna inject the toilets to?
All right.
Very hygienic.
How do you think I get all of this booze? I smuggle it to the volcano.
Okay.
I think I get all this booze from them friendly cultists.
Okay. Have you seen any angry volcano god cultists around?
No.
Are you an angry volcano god cultist?
Are you or have you ever been an angry volcano god cultist?
He reaches around and takes a homebrew shotgun right towards your face. He goes, I'm no cultist, boy. I mean, yeah. So as he
This guy better, you gotta punch the barrel of the double barrel shotgun. Your fist splits the two barrels in half, which curl around and point at him, so he gets punched in the face and then shoots himself in the face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I try that.
The barrel just like bends around, so it goes back like this. You punch him in the face, and the two barrels go off and shoot two other cultists behind him.
Hold on, I need to change this. A moment. I have a skill here which needs different wording. So he has a skill called Drunken Horde, which I'm now changing to Drunken Cultists. Okay, so his face completely belted with tiny micro bruise. Roughly bleeding monochrome blood, and goes, "You're in for a world of hurt." Snaps his hands, and the door behind you disappears, and you have no way out, and you're surrounded by cultists and one angry speakeasy bartender who may or may not be a cultist.
Like the inflation may not be a cultist. Come on.
Alright, I try to grab a bottle and see if I can quickly make a Molotov cocktail and burn the...
Yes.
A random barkeeper just brings up a lighter and goes,
Yeah. Like a random bar goer or something?
just bartender, not bartender, but guy that's drinking booze. That
Yeah,
goes to a
patron.
bar. Patron, thank you. Random patron just lights your Molotov cocktail for you.
He's actually going to light his cigar, you just jam your Molotov in the way, he's like, hey.
And I throw it at the bartender and all the booze he has stacked behind him, so not only does he get completely burned, but everything behind him goes up in flames and he causes a huge explosion, and I book it into the horde of...
Bob, you can see Bob in the back and still in the car locked in. Just surrounded by naked firemen.
He was next to the bar still. He got left there. Look at it. You throw the Molotov, it starts burning the shelf of bottles. They start falling over and rattling. Suddenly they start boiling inside. They start firing off caps and corks, trailed with flaming booze. They're all around the bar, hitting all the cultists.
Yeah, I duck into the car and hop into the driver's seat, and I do the thing. As the wheels without tires grind against the cement, I try to slowly drive away.
As you're trying to slowly drive away,
Quick, make your way to the rail tracks.
a horde of drunken cultists walk towards you.
He's just like, look out the window. There's a couple guys walks over. Hey buddy, roll that down. It's like, she's like, come on, man. It's like you're going like 5.
They surround the car and begin to try to topple it over.
Hey, can I throw out a suggestion?
Yeah.
What you may not know is I modified my squad car. I actually have magnesium rims. And they're currently sparking on the concrete.
Yeah.
And now you have flaming magnesium wheels. Just Florence starts spraying burning metal into their faces.
Yeah.
Concerning the fact that they're cultists of a fire god, it doesn't seem to affect them that much. It might explain why there's constantly fire here.
Still metal shavings in the eyes.
Alright. I open up the secret hatchway through the trunk and let Bob out the back, and while he's causing a distraction,
He immediately gets grabbed by
And while they're murdering him.
He immediately gets grabbed by a bunch of drunken cultists who drag him into the back.
No! Do the old classic maneuver where you open the car door and kick it so you knock one of them out of the way.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I kick the car door and knock a couple of them out of the way, and then I book it.
Right. As you book it, you see a speakeasy bartender grab a lever and pull it, and you fall into a trap door.
Okay.
In the middle of the street.
Yeah. He has a skill called Home Advantage.
Oh, lovely.
Right. 8 dice.
Alright. Not good.
I'd throw another one in attack.
Okay. Red is attack. White is defense. 3 attack, 3 defense.
2 attack, 2 defense.
Okay, so I'm fine, and you
Bartender
take 1.
gets sucked.
And as you're falling, let's go back to the volcano god.
Yes. Last we met, my good trusty Steve just got booted. This time I spew.
Your trusty Steed or your trusty Steve?
Steed.
Yes, sorry, you said Steve.
His name's not Steve. He has many names, but none of them are Steve. As long as the magic sigil is pulsing, the volcano god is starting to become weaker. It's starting to shrink down into something more like a... Still huge, but it's more man-sized. As I love this game. As I run over to the sigil, finally gives out its last pulse. It releases the last part of the spell, which is suddenly the sigil unravels, and the entire ring just popping up are racks and racks of broadswords. This is another weaponry. This is not a seal the monster away spell. This is an even the playing field spell. With that, I just grab the nearest morning star, lift it up and go, right, let's do this, Smokey.
I should mention that while I was in the car and slowly driving away, I was actually also getting something out of a glove compartment.
It's actually just my will. I figured I might want it.
Right. The volcano god looks around and sees that there's a wide variety of weapons. He proceeds to spout lava to try to floor this now entrapped area. So smoke starts to bellow out through the top, lava starts pouring down, and just starts to cover the floor with a small flow of lava. You know, lava, that kind of lava. Grabs 2 broadswords, and just brings them over top, dunks them in, brings them out,
Yeah.
and goes. Once it does that, it brings them out of the way and begins to belch hellfire at you. Hellfire that's also accompanied by microscopic gremlins, as they also got shrunk.
That's the first belt of hellfire comes to me. I just dive and roll out of the way, come up next to one of the other weapon racks, and I grab one of the most ridiculous weapons in all of known history, the Morphan. I grab that. I start whipping it around with absurd inhuman speed, fanning that lava that's coming and just solidifying it into stone so I can run forward with my morning star and deliver a mighty crack upon the side of its face. Or what passes for a face.
You crack it in, and even more lava starts to flow out.
I keep snapping the fan, keep the lava and the sparks and the gremlins back, and myself while I keep wailing in there with the morning star. Eventually I just swing it in a big overhead thing, and the ball just goes right at the top of its head and just plugs it. And I just leave it there, plugging its volcano head.
The volcano hugs you. And
I knee the groin. Nothing happens, and I go, oh right, stone.
it just holds on to you while it builds up in pressure. Roll.
This is 8, I'm guessing.
Yes.
4 attack, 2 defense.
4 attack, 3 defense.
Alright. So it takes 1.
Mm-hmm.
Take 2. So as it builds up its pressure inside itself, it just detonates, blows up, and I go flying backwards, tumbling in, slam into a tree, and collapse unconscious. Go.
Alright, so I'm assuming I'm in a dark cellar somewhere.
Yep. As you look around, some spotlights start to appear in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
You're surrounded by hooded figures.
Mm-hmm.
One of them approaches you, and you can see that it is Bob.
In a hood. His hood has a crown. He was the leader all along.
Mm-hmm. I pull out my pockets. I have a briefcase I took out of the glove box, which says, "In case of horde of angry cultists, break glass," and pull out a flamethrower.
The worst weapon you could possibly use. You pour
Except it
flamethrower
has
all over.
liquid nitrogen in it.
I want a skill that's just called Crazy Prepared.
Alright. And I pointed at the cultist and said, "Don't move, I'm not afraid to use this."
Your safety's on.
Oh. Alright, now I'm not afraid to use
I'm
this.
not afraid to use this. Safety's on. Oh, in that case, take a knife, just stab the tank, and just spray it everywhere. I don't know how the safety works. It's too complicated. just break it open.
So are you spraying liquid nitrogen?
Yeah, spraying liquid nitrogen all over.
Alright. You get almost all of them completely frozen and absolutely brittle,
Mm-hmm.
except for Bob, who is currently floating in the air. And he brings down an order. "Go, my faithful." And the Speakeasy Tavern owner comes up, who is totally a cultist this entire time. He goes,
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
I think it would be better if he came in and went, "Wait, you guys are cultists?" And was completely unaware. It's like, damn it, I was wondering why I had such high and sacrificial dagger bills. And all those charges of invoice for blood cleaning and altar repair. It all makes sense now.
"Alright, I'm gonna veto what I say. What you say goes." That happens. He
Yes.
goes, "Wait, we're cultists?"
Wait, cultists? You guys told me you were the Recreational Fire Appreciation Society. Oh man, cults require a whole different zoning code, you pricks. There's gonna be hell with the council on establishing and maintaining my illegal business licenses. I mean, perfectly legitimate business that does not in any way sell alcohol. You're not a cop, are you? You have to tell me if you're a cop. I am a cop, I've told you that several times. Well, shit.
Yeah, so basically what he said. I am a cop. I've mentioned that several times. I've mentioned that every time
I'm wearing a badge, it's like right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
Right.
I'm like 50% of the entire police force.
Bob descends down right in front of the Speakeasy Tavern owner and just pokes him. And he goes, shakes uncontrollably. Bob just disappears in a whiff of smoke. And you can see
Does the
fire
smoke flow into the tavern owner's eyes and ears?
Yeah, right. He
Nice.
slows right in. His eyes begin to go right into flames. He takes his microbrew shotgun, bends it back into place, and begins to belch shots of microbrews at you.
Alright, I try to take cover behind the brittle cultists.
The cultists immediately break and get hit in the face with a microbrew.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to duck between each and every one and slowly making my way towards him. And as soon as I do, I tear off the brittle arm of one of them and smash it across his head.
He flips back. He does a backflip. Uses his homebrew shotgun to do a double jump in the air. The splash of the microbrew hitting the ground causes spuds to spurt out. Some of them get into your eyes. Your eyes are now inebriated.
So I'm drunk. My eyes are drunk specifically?
Yes.
Alright.
And the possessed tavern owner
Oh, I'm not unconscious. Okay.
pulls another lever. It's like, there's so many levers. And a multitude of trapdoors, lights just come from up above as hordes of drunken cultists fall down and begin to assault you with body slams. There's also some horses.
Alright.
Drunken horses.
I book it, I don't know what to do.
Keep in mind, your character is literally superhuman. He's a
Okay.
Wushu character. He can spin kick a tractor through a building if you want
Okay.
to. you should
Okay,
never...
wait until they're all on top of me and say, my name is Neo. My name is...
I was dead. Throw the wall off.
Yeah.
It's exactly the sort of thing you should do.
Yeah, sure. And, I grab one Orion, spin him around, and throw him at another guy who's riding on a horse. Then I grab the horse and ride off towards where...
Oh, don't worry about coming to me. I have a plan for that.
Okay. Yeah, so... It's funny, when he gets so crazy, you don't know what to do next.
My advice is always add more crazy.
I don't know how to... But I don't know how!
Feel free to ask me for advice.
Yeah, sure.
I'll allow it.
Well, you get lots of cultists.
Mm-hmm.
All you really need to do is just... Every detail is worth a die, so you just have to be more elaborate in what you describe, basically.
Okay.
Rather than saying, I punch him, you say, I grab him, I punch him a couple of times in the face, knee him in the groin, pick him up, throw him into another guy,
Yeah.
grab a second guy, spin around like an airplane toss, throw him into a chandelier which swings over to the wall, smashes a hole in it, rain rumble down upon everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just be crazy with it.
Alright, I take one of the shards of the frozen broken cultist and use that as a sword.
Just frozen femur. Ah!
Yeah, and quickly sharpen it enough and use it to lop off limbs around me and
Yes.
I go off at one of the cultists and ride towards him, joust him in through the head and
Run him through the eye.
run him through the eye, pull off his head, and then lob it and hit another guy with the thrown head.
Exactly.
Alright.
That kind of shit.
8 dice.
Okay.
Don't forget your defense dice.
Yeah. White is defense.
I think you only rolled
Failure.
7 right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. One more attack dice. Alright. So, yeah. Alright, so 3 attack successes and 2 defense successes.
2 attacks, no defense.
Alright, 3 hits on him.
Alright.
Biff, pow, zap.
I believe that's a knockout punch.
Yeah, the drunken cultists are lying there on a slough. You see the possessed speakeasy owner. One of them is he's lying there on the ground. His homebrew volley shotgun, which shoots homebrews, is in tatters. His smoke bellows out of his mouth and goes up into the sky through one of the open trap doors.
Mm-hmm.
You now have your way. What was?
I found out I'm not actually unconscious.
Hmm.
When players are beat up, it's you get teetered to the brink of exhaustion / knocked unconscious when you get dealt a point and don't have a point of chi to spend to get rid of it. So I have one more I can take. So I'm gonna say, at this point, I'm like against the tree that he like smashed me into. I like lean up, just as the giant the little volcano monster comes over, starts punching me in the stomach and chest repeatedly. Just punching me, the tree behind me increasingly breaking and cracking. And finally, the volcano guy just like picks up a lump of rock, reshapes into a bat, and he just hits me in the torso with it. I go flying through the tree, shatter, sailing through the air, and just in the distance, you see a speakeasy. As I come rocketing in midair, I turn around in the air, look down and go, oh shit, pull my hat down over my eyes and tuck into a ball. As we come rocketing in like a meteor of an angry god to the side of the speakeasy where there's this man floating in the sky. I just slammed into him and both of us drive into the ground with a shattering force. Part of the wall crumbles down over us and covers us in broken rock and timbers and beam. Eventually you just see this pile of rubble just eventually, a bit of it just punches out with a fist and I go, hey, Ted.
Roger, you're late.
I push over. Sorry, I found a shortcut though. I go and I spit out a tooth.
Is that yours or one of theirs?
It's like, I think it's one of theirs actually. It's pretty disgusting. I take off my hat. It's like dented slightly. Just like pop it out in place again. Put it back. Brush some dust off it. Put it back on. Then I just rolled up my sleeves.
Sorry for ditching you there, but I needed to pick something up.
I know how it is. Also, a small volcano god may be alone shortly, so be on the lookout for that.
All right, I've got a I keep wanting to call it a nitroglycerin flamethrower.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I don't want one. It sounds risky somehow.
Yeah.
No, not a nitroglycerin. The liquid nitrogen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a liquid nitrogen flamethrower.
From the ice cream shop across the street.
Yes.
Which has remained stunningly intact this entire time. There's like one guy at the counter with like a scoop above a nut cone. He's just been going for like an hour now. Watching this.
There is a giant dog, well, giant by horse-sized dog, sitting at this ice cream place, lapping up a milkshake.
Lapping up a milkshake occasionally, like against bruised, beaten up wounds. I go, puppy, you made it! I run over to be reunited with my friend.
Oh.
He bites me in the arm. Ow!
Suck it up, Roger. We got a job to do.
Hey, you're right. Hitch up the old belt. Hey, let's get to it then.
Actually, what was our job? Oh yeah, find the puppy. There, we found it.
Yeah, well, now we gotta find the lady who turned into a horrible shrieking monster and then turned into a volcano god. So clearly our goal here is to knock her out of volcano god.
Alright then, you got any C4 or... No, not C4, it's 1920s dynamite.
Dynamite. It was in my car. And who the hell knows it? Oh wait, that's over there.
About upside down and 10 inches away from where I parked it.
Yo, what'd you do to my ribs? God damn it. Those were expensive. There'll be a lot of someone else's money to pay for that.
You can feel a small rumbling slowly getting stronger.
There he is.
Oh yeah, Bob, it was Bob's fault. Hope he has insurance.
I don't know. He just got a building collapsed on him. We'll see if he gets up from that.
He'll be fine.
He's always fine. He's Bob. He's a rock. Bob is a rock. I've said this many a time. That tavern owner was possessing though, he's probably dead.
Well, I just threw a frozen head at him. I thought it'd be alright.
Well, I threw a frozen head at him and then I slammed into him and through a wall. Collapsed a building on him.
Right. As the volcano god gets up into range, you can see that Bob just pulls the rubble out of the way, like takes out a comb.
Is he Bob or the tavern owner?
Bob, tavern owner's dead.
Yeah, I figured.
The volcano god goes right up to Bob, and they look at each other. They fist bump. The fire ghost goes out of the volcano god and goes right on top of the two in a 3 triangular fashion.
They Voltron
In a pyramid.
They Voltron up.
The ground rumbles as the speakeasy rises up in the ground and forms right on top of them.
Roger,
The
I think it's
volcano
time.
forms the legs. The ghost forms the arms, and Bob forms the head.
Nice.
Alright, I climb up onto Roger's shoulders and say, Mecha Shiva. Mecha Shiva. Mecha Shiva. Mecha
I
Shiva.
just stand
Mecha
there,
Shiva.
standing there, just fuck off. Just push you over. For the last time, we're not Power Rangers.
Of course we're not. We're Mecha Shiva.
I run over to my squad car, rip the trunk open. I literally just rip the trunk hatch off. It's just like dented in the way. It's upside down, and what tumbles out is not just a little bit of dynamite, it's several crates of dynamite. I just pick up a bundle of it. I take up my cigar that's been in my mouth, has survived all of this, and is now finally burned down to the littlest bit of a stub. I take it out, and with the last of its heat, I turn around, flick the stub away, and hurl my dynamite at the volcano Voltron monster.
It grabs the
Just as it's roaring at me, it just like sticks in its mouth. He just goes down to the end. It just like looks at it and goes.
At this moment, the head turns into smoke as the dynamite falls down through the ethereal arms of the ghost lady into the volcano legs, and the legs themselves explode.
It just hits the lava in the head and it just immediately blows up. Shattered, blows everywhere. Just duck my head down, rubble bouncing off my impenetrable hat. I'm a proper 1920s detective. My hat is indestructible.
Now,
One down, 2 to go.
the shocked ice cream owner, with his mouth absolutely agape in astonished horror, snaps out of it and remembers something, calls you two over, and he's like, he goes, "Get this dog out of my damn ice cream shop."
In a minute, we're busy. I don't know if you noticed. This is police business.
I'm afraid we're dealing with police matters at the moment. We'll have to solve your problem later.
You'll have to file a claim at the claims department, the station. The claims department is in the basement, in an unlit room, behind a disused bathroom, behind it, at the bottom of a drawer, guarded by an angry leopard.
The ice cream store is now on fire.
That's alright.
But all melt ice cream don't melt.
Including the Scotch ice cream.
That doesn't really have Scotch in it, though. That's heathen Scotch ice cream. They just call it Scotch ice cream. It's actually an offense. I run into the back room where their big like ice cream making machines are, and I detach the big cylinder of liquid nitrogen over my shoulder. And I run my one and I go, "You got a vacuum cleaner?" To the shop owner.
Yeah, it's in the closet.
Thank you. Just take it, run off into the street. Take the liquid nitrogen canister under my arm, point it up at the ghost and Bob, just smash the end valve off of it, just spray liquid nitrogen over the ghost, and it starts solidifying up into a sort of a frozen mist and fog. I just take the bat, make a swing at it, and just try and shatter it.
And while you are successful in shattering it, in the end, it the frozen parts melt. It goes back into ectoplasm and
Well,
smoke.
that's what the vacuum is for. Now that it's detached and it's dispersed around, I take the vacuum. I go to start it up and then realize I've never done housework in my life as a 1920s detective, and I need your assistance to figure out how a vacuum works.
Yeah, it's just that switch there.
This one, I press the one that says blow. Just blow the ghost around. Oh, no, the other way. Alright. Switch it on. Start trying to vacuum up the ghost like Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, the ghost tries to run away and it pulls you into one of the buildings and through a window. And...
I go, I got this. You handle Bob.
Alright, I take out my trusty revolver and shoot Bob between the eyes.
Veto.
No, I try to shoot both of his arms, both of his legs, and then finally in the crotch just to make sure he can't move anything.
Try to really cripple him good.
Yeah.
He swerves around the bullets and bellows down low into his smoky form.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts to swerve towards you and begins to try to get up through your nostrils.
I sneeze.
Like I did at the beginning of the game. When it was him all along.
You can see how this is all sort of connected.
Yeah. So yeah, I sneeze him onto the floor and then shoot him twice, and use my last bullet to shoot him in the chest. Because it's a revolver, it only has 6 bullets.
Let us roll.
Yes, let's roll.
How many dice?
8.
Okay.
Let's see, I also need one for Bob.
3 success, 2 defense. Or 4 defense, actually.
4 defense?
Yep.
Alright.
3 attack, 3 defense.
Let's see, for you it's 2 attack, 2 defense.
Alright, I defend and I get 1 through on him.
Alright. The ghost, who is now stuck in a vacuum, reforms into a lady, and the vacuum explodes in the force of the now solid form as she lies there unconscious. Her red dress, no longer red, now in fact gray. That's 4. What was yours?
I got 3 attack and 3 defense.
It's 1920s, so I immediately rifle through her dress and take out the smoke she inevitably has, steal one. Because it's the 20s, I can't not be smoking constantly. It was a rough few minutes there.
Okay, 4 attack, 3 defense.
4 attack, 3 defense?
Yep.
Okay, I do nothing and lose 1 cheat. That was useless.
Alright. Bob reforms, puts his crown back on. He looks at the 2 detectives, takes out a cigarette. This is all revenge for sticking me in that car for all that time.
Yeah, we probably deserved that.
Hey, we probably deserve that, but the bar didn't. You went too far. Destroying the town, fine. Ruining our national heritage landmark in the volcano, fine. But you broke my bar! And that shall not stand.
He does some fancy martial arts moves. He goes like this.
I Indiana Jones him.
I don't know what that means.
You've never seen Indiana Jones?
I have, but I don't know what moment.
There's like the sword fighter who comes up and he's like,
Oh, right.
bang! Just shoots him.
The shot goes right through him as you can see a hole there and slowly reforms with ashy smoke.
So bullets make him disperse, eh? Considering this, I then just move in and start rushing him and punching the crap out of him. Swinging my fists in, like punching the fog, swinging my arms around, trying to disperse him as much as possible.
While he's making a distraction, I run over to the vacuum cleaner.
Which is broken.
It's broken. Gotta fix it.
Broken. Yeah.
Well, you just gotta fix it.
Okay.
Basically, she just broke through the bag.
Okay.
You just
so
made
yeah,
bag.
take a there's probably a paper bag floating somewhere. I just stick that onto the hose and.
Yeah, you go to the ice cream shop and grab one of their little those little things for decorating cakes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Still one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I take one of the cake decoration squeeze things and stick that in the hose and then run back over to where Bob's fighting Roger and suck him up in the in my jerry-rigged vacuum cleaner.
Well, as he's
struggling
to put the bag together, the dispersed smoke starts to enter your nostrils. It gets all right up in there, and your eyes begin to light on fire.
The sigil of my hand starts glowing and blazing with light, and I just go, I just start punching myself in the face, and Bob in his smoky form inside my head can actually still feel it getting rocked back and forth by him. As he's possessed my head, he now feels my own pain. And I punch myself in the face until he just can't bear it anymore and Clive gets out. And I'm just like, he gets out, I'm like, ha! Fuck, that hurts. Because now I can go like, God damn it.
Bob swirls around, all dizzy, and he looks around, sees you with your vacuum cleaner, and goes, "Oh, fuck this." He flies up towards the sun.
Damn it.
As he gets closer and closer to the sun, you can see the sun slowly begin to start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. As everything around you slowly starts to get sweltering in heat. Things getting lit on fire.
Alright. At this point, I go over to the ice cream shop's Cold Stone Brewery, take all of the tanks they have in their massive operation, connect them together, and
And we make a nice air conditioning unit to fit into our fake window.
Far more important things.
Oh.
Fire them all off at once, and the earth starts moving away from the sun. And I'm rolling this as dramatic car chase.
I'll allow it. Roll.
2 attack, 4 defense.
1 defense, 3 attack.
I defend, and I punch him for 1.
Alright.
I was just thinking we could have probably ended that campaign right there by jury-rigging an air conditioning unit, sticking it into that area where
It's just like, whatever.
sticking it in that hole where the window isn't, and just ending the thing, lying back at our desk going, that was an eventful thing.
Just sit back down. Fucking Thursdays, man. Can never get the hang of Thursday.
Bob's face shows up in the sun. He looks considerably angry and surprised that the earth is moving away from him.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, he's turned into the moon from Majora's Mask.
But the sun.
Because the moon wasn't big enough.
Yeah. Alright.
I look over at you and go, Ted, I think this may be officially above our pay grade.
Yes, Roger, that looks correct.
Yeah, well, if you don't do this, you won't have a job.
Mm.
And no
If
money.
If we do this, we still want a job. Alright, I have a plan, Ted. All we need to do is keep this thing moving and get it into a different solar system and then bait that sun to crash into a different sun. It'll be dicey for a minute there, but I think I can do this.
It'll just take a few million.
I have done the math.
Sorry. I had beans for lunch.
No, just fart that way. Contribute to the speed.
Yeah.
It adds a whole 20 miles.
My wife's cabbage soup. It'll do that.
My nitrogen. I need that to keep the ice cream cold.
At the moment it is keeping it cold as possible with that sun coming towards us. Alright, let's try to find more stuff to put into the fire.
The dog wanders up right next to you. At this moment, you notice that it has been wearing a collar this whole time. And on the collar is an insignia.
What does it say?
It says fruit.
Yes. It also says frou-frou. But with your knowledge of what man should not know, frou-frou spelled backwards is some sort of spell.
Arf, 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 arf.
The dog's been a wizard this whole time. He's not been barking, he's been trying to cast his spell. Of course, it all makes sense now. It's probably the Scotch talking. I like at the end of this, I just wake up in a gutter.
Yeah, and I'm kicking you on. Come on, Roger. You gotta find that missing dog. Roger. Roger.
This is when I realized that the dog's been trying to cast this spell itself the whole time. It actually can talk. It's just that some bastard fed it coffee and burned its tongue. And the dog a mint and a cup of water.
With a mint and a cup of water. The dog swishes it around, spits a little bit of water out, gurgles, and says thank you. And then begins to cast its spell.
No, it says, thank you.
Yes, thank you. And begins to cast its spell. Woof. The dog
Sorry.
Wushu begins to regain its color and splendor. It raises into the air, grows a 10-foot beard, looks up towards the sun, wears sunglasses to protect his eyes, and goes, "Thou shalt not pass."
I chimed in for being unoriginal.
Hey, it's a wizard dog.
Yep.
Let me have this.
Sure.
The sun halts in place, but you're still moving away from it, and as things begin to get colder and colder.
Don't worry, gravity will kick in eventually.
That's true. We'll be fine. I adjust the nozzles on the tanks to put us into more of an orbit again.
No, we just leave it like that. The Earth goes like this. Ooh, crashes.
Well, that's why I'm re-establishing an orbit.
Yeah.
And now Earth is back in orbit around the sun. The sun is 7,000 miles away from where it started. All the other planets just crashed and are obliterated.
And you've just solved global warming.
Futurama's now.
Yep.
By my calculations, the year is now a week longer. I declare it to be party week.
Reforms right in front of you. He goes, "Wizard dog? What?"
While he's distracted, I just walk up with my smoke, stub it out of his eye, punch him in the face. Good. Let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll.
All attack.
Yep. All in. 8 attack.
Yeah, you win. He falls to the ground. He tumbles around, lands into the
How
back
many
seat.
attack successes did he get?
3.
Yes, I do still win, because he goes deeper in the hole than I do.
He tumbles around in the force of the fist and lands right in the back seat of your car. It slams right closed.
Not onto the seat, the roof, because the car's still turned on over.
Yeah, not on the seat of the roof,
Yeah.
but still in the car.
He goes through the sunroof.
Yeah.
And his force hitting the seat just tips it back on its wheels. Then I open the trunk and I get out the spare tires. Just put them on.
The dog casts its another spell, frou-frou. As splendor as a rainbow shines across the sky, and it's all brilliance of color, as everything goes back into its shades of blue, red, green, and all the other ones.
I've been arrested dog for not having a leash.
It had a leash.
Not out of collar.
Alright.
I just think that's the best ending for this. If it just ends with a cell bomb in one cell and a dog in the other one, just both glaring at it.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. So what do you think of my first Wushu game?
That was pretty good. I think the only advice I would give is it does need a bit more direction.
Yeah, I only had like an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had a lot more direction than you might think. I mean, Volcano God, the ghost, the speakeasy owner, the guy in your car. That was all planned. Oh, you know what the ghost was called?
Nope. Pyrogeist?
No, Hot Damned Soul.
A hot damn soul. How did I do?
Pretty good, yeah. The only thing with Wushu is you really do. Pretty much every other game discourages you from doing weird or outlandish things by like keeping penalties on them for doing it, stuff like that. Wushu just actively encourages that.
Yeah.
So it's a very serious sort of shift in playstyle.
You know, this is too bad that none of you had any holy stuff because the Hot Damned Soul is weak against it.
Holy stuff?
Yeah.
In my case, Scotch.
Scotch is your god?
It is. I worship Dionysus, god of debauchery and boobs.
In retrospect, I would have changed it to vacuum.
Hey, I went through this with only taking 1 damage.
I went through this taking all of the damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely like sort of the hyper competent sidekick. You were sort of the main hero.